Hey everybody, back again, and today I want to do a video on maybe even make this the first of a series. We'll see. It won't be a long series, but ways that I've made money on the internet, right? So that's the dream, that's the goal, right? Work from home, be your own boss, and there's a ton of ways to make money online, and I've done a bunch of them. Not everything, but there's some things I won't do to make money online, but no. Yeah, but there are some things that I've done, and one of them was actually screenwriting, writing cartoons. Hey, I've written cartoons, right? So just some backstory on this, right? It's kind of, maybe I think it's cool. I think this is so cool. So I am a amateur screenwriter, right? I'm a lot of things. I'm a failed entrepreneur. I'm an ex-teacher, father, single dad, lots of stuff. But I'm also amateur screenwriter, right? So I've written a bunch of scripts, a lot of shorts, one full-length feature, which I need to start trying to sell again. And for a long time, I wasn't the failed entrepreneur. I was like the failed screenwriter. Like that was my passion. That's what I did all the time. If you saw my old video on the 5 a.m. Writers Club, I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day just to write for an hour because I had no other time in my life to do so. And I was really big into screenwriting. I even made a website for screenwriters and tips and, Screenplay Right Now. What was it called? screenplayrightnow.com, I think. Is this still online? I can't remember. But I was really into screenwriting. So, and how did I learn that? Self-taught, I guess you could say. I did take a screenwriting class in community college years ago. Really enjoyed it. Had a great idea for a film. And after that class, kind of learned the basics on screenwriting. Never forgot the idea, kept working on the idea in my head, but never really wrote it down. And so after years and years of this, I just said, you know what? I got to, for my own sanity, I got to get this idea on paper. I want to write this out. I don't want to talk about this. I actually want to write this out. So kind of got back on the screenwriting horse, but have forgotten a lot of things. Screenwriting is very technical. There's a right and wrong way to write and format your scripts. And I was lucky and stumbled across a great website, simplyscripts.com, right? Which is a website for amateur screenwriters. It's got a great community on the message boards full of people like me who are learning to write scripts and stories, or you can upload your stories to get feedback, which is so important. I learned a lot from just getting my scripts torn to pieces by the great people there. You got to be able to take criticism, of course, but kind of learn the ins and outs, and that's kind of where me and so many others have honed their craft on simplyscripts.com. And a lot of scripts there get optioned. They actually get bought by people. It's a big database of scripts from amateurs like me who are more than happy to sell it and stuff like that. So I've been contacted a few times for some scripts. Nothing ever came through. But anyway, that's a whole video. I love that website. One of my top 5 favorite websites all time because I'm passionate about screenwriting. Anyway, point is, when I was in screenwriting mode, I don't sadly write as much now as I would like. One of the things on the message board was job opportunities, which I would look at every now and then just to kind of see, how can I make some money off of this, because that's the goal. Usually it's like a indie director or college kid who is maybe looking for a screenwriter or wants to team up to help write an idea of theirs, or agencies looking for certain types of scripts, stuff like that. But one of them one day was a cartoon studio in France who was looking for screenwriters to help make YouTube shows for some of their cartoons, right? YouTube cartoons is what this was. And they paid. And I was like, wow, I write, but I have nothing published, nothing's been picked up, but I think I have some chops. And so kind of on a whim, I clicked the link and submitted like an application to be one of their screenwriters. And so they came back with a test, which was, a little bit of like your experience, but they kind of gave you had to do some practice scripts. Like, here's some situations and stipulations, and we want you to write like a 2-page story, right? With beginning, middle, and whatever it was. So I was like, okay, and that took some time to do. That was like a night or two of my time. Wasn't getting paid to fill out this application, and it's not like a normal application. You just put your job history and stuff. I had to be creative and actually had to create something for them. So it was like, so these cartoons were like cars for babies, right? You can actually, I'll link I'll find some of the cartoons I actually wrote. I'll link them here in the comments. Car City is what it's called. It's cars for babies. So a lot of these little, and it's not the greatest quality cartoon. It's computer graphics. It's very simple. Cartoons are maybe only like 5 minutes tops. The cars don't really talk. They just kind of make baby sound. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But wrote some of these, or finished the application, submitted it, and they liked it. Hey, you're hired, right? I was like, what? Really? Oh, cool. So I got contracted by the studio to start writing scripts for them, cartoons, and it paid a little over, I think, like $200 a script for 5 pages. These are small cartoons, mind you, so they're not huge epics. Little 5-6 page scripts, and I think it was like a little bit over 200 a script, maybe it was 200-ish. This was a while ago. So I was like, wow, I'm actually going to get paid to write scripts? This is awesome, right? And so that was that. So they started giving me assignments, and they had a database of assets that were made. It was actually a good learning experience to do this because it was computer graphics. So this was extremely limited, or the storytelling was extremely limiting, right? You got 5 pages. Each page is about a minute of screen time. So you got 5 minutes to start and stop a story with cars who can't speak. Okay, so a lot of the storytelling had to be visual. These cars had no hands, so they couldn't really like pick up and manipulate things. So that was kind of challenging, right? When your characters are kind of quadriplegic and can't even, talk a little bit. How do you tell a story like that? The assets that they had, because it was all CG, they wanted you to reuse as many assets as possible. So they had a big database of characters and props and settings, and you had to try and use those as best you can in your stories. You just couldn't make up whatever you wanted, because that means they would have to get an artist to create those CG assets, and that takes time and money on their end. And so you had to kind of do a lot of recycling, right? So it was, like I said, a great experience just to kind of try and make stories in that fashion, right? On top of that, they're based in France. There's a little bit of a language barrier and a big time difference. So, and they wanted like 2 or 3 scripts a week, right? So I would get assigned a script. Literally, hey, we want you to do one on donuts. That was a script story. That was an idea they gave me, right? We want you to write a script on donuts. Or it's dinosaur week in Car City. You need to write something like about Jurassic Park, or it's like, what? Huh? Who? So that was interesting. So I did the best I could. I would submit my story, and there was an editor who would go and look over everything, and they would give it back with feedback. This is too repetitive. This item doesn't work that way. You need to maybe add another page, whatever it was. So I would make the changes, and it was about a 2 or 3 day process. Then I would submit the script, and they put money into my account, and I got paid. And then I had to go and do another script right away. So I would work during the day, come home, and on the weeknights and weekends, just write. Right? That was it. It was it was a lot of work, but I was getting paid to do something that I loved. It was an awesome experience. And they took those scripts I made and actually made them into cartoons. So even though they're baby cartoons, to just see something that you wrote online, fully animated, was super, super cool. And, it's like, it's not the greatest thing, but it's cool to me that I got paid, again, to do something I love and to be creative and to actually see it on the screen. Even though it's a small screen, it was super, super cool. So this lasted maybe about 3 months, right? There was a delay between when I submitted scripts and when they got animated. So it was about a month before I finally saw my first submission online. And then afterwards, after about a month or two, they informed me, being a contractor, they didn't need my assistance anymore. If they were getting 3 scripts from me, and they had a lot of other series on their channel, so they made a lot of episodes. But I could just tell, like, if they're getting 3 from me a week, and they got other people making other shows, they had a huge backlog of scripts. So they were like banking scripts, but they couldn't turn them into episodes fast enough. And so they just basically had an inventory, and they just let me go. I hope that's why they let me go. I don't think my scripts are terrible. But that was that. So it didn't last forever, which is kind of a blessing. That was a ragged pace. And the money wasn't... It was extra money, which was good, but it wasn't... I don't know how I could have sustained it at that pace. But you get better when you do things and stuff like that. Anyway, super cool. The moral, there's always a moral I try, is here's the thing, right? Had I not gone out on a limb, had I not, first of all, seen this opportunity on a random internet message board, had I not clicked and actually read the opportunity, had I not applied for the opportunity, this never would have happened, right? Again, I'm an amateur screenwriter. I never had anything published. Well, I guess I have now, right? But, I had nothing to my name. I was green, new writer, and somebody saw enough value in what I could do to pay me for my writing, right? But had I not taken that leap of faith and even attempted and signed up for this in the first place, it never would have happened. So moral of the story is this, right? If you see an opportunity, if you see something that comes along, a crazy chance or something like, I'm not qualified, I could never do that, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough experience, you don't know until you try, right? So totally follow through on those opportunities. They don't come along very often. And who knows, maybe one day you could write internet baby cartoons and get paid for it, right? Take advantage of those opportunities, seek them out. The only thing you lose is your time. And who knows, it could be life-changing for you if you follow through. But you never know if you don't take that risk, if you don't put yourself out there and go out of that comfort zone and try something new and set yourself up for success and maybe failure, but try, right? Go out there and try. So, all right, that's it. I got stuff to do. I know you do too. I will link one of the episodes down below. Those videos get views, man. Kids watch them. I think, it's like, man, that video I wrote, that script, that got like 80,000 views, right? Or who knows how much it has now. So it's been a while since I've seen it, but like, that's a good feeling. That's cool. It's always going to be there. And I can put that on my resume next time I go and apply for a writing job. And I'm sure that's going to make me look a little better having some of my scripts turn to cartoons. All right, cool. All right, Car City, go check it out. Give it a like, thumbs up to this video and the Car City video. And I'll catch you later. All right, bye.